皆さんこんにちは、カエルです。今日もアメリカの上院の公聴会を見てみましょう。質問しているのは共和党のジョシュ・ホーリー上院議員で、答弁しているのは現職判事ワイズ氏です。では見てみましょう。
So, as I understand it, you don't think that there really is any clear-cut distinction between male and female as biological categories. Is that correct? That's what you wrote.
Sorry, that is not correct.
Well, that's what you wrote. Look, I'm reading your article, your Time Magazine article. Just to be clear, you wrote this while you were a sitting judge, 2017? You were on the bench?
That is correct after a case I had.
Right. So, interesting choice to be writing opinion pieces about your cases, but in any event, you say that controversial pieces of legislation enacted in the last 2 decades rely on a clear-cut interpretation of sex, what I just asked you. But you say that that's wrong. In fact, gender is an intricate continuum and not 2 tidy boxes. That's what you say.
上院議員は証人、ワイズ判事が2017年にタイム誌に寄稿した記事を問題視して質問を始めます。証人が生物学的な男女の区分を曖昧に捉えていると解釈し、あなたが書いた文章だとプレッシャーをかけます。
I believe that generally speaking, there are 2 sexes, male and female, that are designated by a doctor at birth, and that applies to the vast majority of people.
But that laws that are based on that distinction are impermissible. That's what you say in this article. Is that correct? That's still your view?
That is not what I say.
Really? You say that if there is, for instance, a law that requires a distinction between male and female in bathrooms, that the judges cannot apply that law with any consistency, can't apply it consistent with equal protection. There are no, what is it? It's virtually impossible for judges to consistently apply a law that permits or prohibits conduct based on whether someone is a man or a woman.
上院議員は記事から性別は2つではなく連続体、スペクトラムであるという一文を引用し証人を追い詰めます。慌てた証人は大多数の場合は男女が明確であるとし、性別とは医師が決定するものだと主張します。
So all bathroom laws that require biological sex, that designate bathrooms based on biological sex, are impermissible?
That is not the position that I took in the article.
That's what it says. It's impossible for judges to consistently apply a law that permits or prohibits conduct based on whether someone is a man or a woman. And you specifically cite bathroom laws as an example of this. In fact, you criticize the then Trump administration's designation of gender-based bathrooms.
It's very
you
important.
think that bathroom designation, same with locker rooms, I guess, girls' locker rooms impermissible? Biological men have to be permitted into girls' locker rooms?
That is absolutely not what I said in my
That is absolutely the import and the takeaway of your piece. You suggest at least 3 different constitutional problems with any gender-based laws, including specifically bathroom laws. You write about it.
かつてオバマ政権はトランスジェンダーが自ら望むトイレを利用できるようにする指針を出しましたが、その後のトランプ第一次政権がこれを覆しました。上院議員は証人の記事を根拠に、証人がトランプ政権の指針を批判し、生物学的な男性が女性のロッカールームに入ることを禁じる法律は違憲であると主張していると結論付けます。
Equal protection violation, due process, void for vagueness. I was making a list as I was reading through. You say that our biological variability means that a 2-bathroom, even 2-sex-based approach is inadequate. Judges cannot apply it. So if Title IX is interpreted to protect women's sports, biological women playing sports with other biological women, it's unconstitutional?
Senator.
That's a yes or no.
I was referring to the 5 babies born a day that doctors have challenges.
No, you wrote an article that is extremely broad that pronounces on a range of issues.
上院議員は証人が記事の中でトイレやロッカールームに関する法律に憲法上の問題を提起したと指摘します。証人は依然としてそれは私の立場ではないと否定しますが、その釈明は曖昧です。
And pronounces quite definitively. What's this comment at the end of your article about The fact that judges must see the world through a secular lens, and when legislators blur the lines of church and state to enact laws that permit or prohibit conduct based on biological gender as only male or female, they place an impossible burden on the judiciary. What's that mean? That distinctions between male and female are a violation of church and state?
Judges have to be able to administer these laws if the direction, and I have to tell you, I work really hard to get it right, to do exactly what Congress tells me to do and the legislature tells me to do.
上院議員は承認の生物学的な性別区分法は政教分離の原則に違反するという一文を問題視します。これに対し承認は釈明できず、私は一生懸命やっているだけですと答えますが、これは上院議員が解釈した通り、男女の区分は宗教的な教養に過ぎないため、これを法律に適用してはならないという意味に近いと言えます。
And as a result, if a doctor finds it difficult to identify at the moment of birth for certain children,
Is a law that distinguishes between male and female a violation of church and state? You say when legislators blur the lines of church and state and enact laws that permit or prohibit conduct based on biological gender as only male and female, they place an impossible burden on the judiciary. So this is a First Amendment violation?
if what you are telling judges is that in order
I'm
to
not
make,
telling you anything. I'm reading you your comments, and I am asking you if you are still committed to these. And it sounds like you are. I have to tell you, I think these positions are insane. I think the idea that laws based on the distinction between male and female are a violation of church and state is insane.
証人は性別の判別が難しい少数の新生児1日5人に言及し、記事の論旨は限定的なものだったと主張します。上院議員は記事の内容ははるかに広範に及んでいるとし、これを常軌を逸した立場と非難して、証人が連邦判事に就任した場合は関連訴訟を忌避すべきだと要求します。
Totally insane. I think the idea that laws that would say women's locker rooms are protected from biological men, that those are impermissible, that's insane. But that's what you say in this article. You're going to have to recuse yourself in a lot of cases, aren't you? Will you recuse in every case involving biological sex if you are confirmed?
Senator, respectfully, that is not what the article says.
You have pronounced on all of these issues. Will you recuse yourself in any case involving Title IX, biological sex, challenges to locker rooms, girls' sports, bathroom bills? All of those things are covered in this article that you wrote while you were a sitting judge. Don't you think that was impermissible? Will you recuse? Let's get an answer to that.
Senator, your time is expired.
Will you recuse?
上院議員は、あなたの立場は馬鹿げていると連邦判事証人の指示を拒否し、今後の関連訴訟では証人が自発的に忌避すべきだと述べます。証人は、それは記事の内容ではないと釈明しますが、上院議員の怒りは収まりません。
You took a position on all of these things, and your position is insane. Totally insane. I will absolutely not vote for you. There's not a world in which I could support you. I can't believe you have been nominated. And if you are confirmed, which I hope will not happen, you absolutely must recuse across all of these cases or stand in violation of the Code of Judicial Conduct. I'm shocked you're sitting here today.
証人は自身の過去の主張が性別の曖昧な新生児のみを対象にしていると言い訳をしますが、それで納得する上院議員ではありません。なぜなら彼女は根本的に男女に違いはないと考えており、トイレ分離法案のようなものを執拗に批判してきたからです。皆さんはどうお考えでしょうか。
ホーリー議員は生物学的な性別の区分に関する判事の見解を強く批判しています。証人は自身の過去の主張が性別の曖昧な新生児のみを対象にしていると言い訳をしますが、それで納得する上院議員はありません。なぜなら彼女は根本的に男女に違いはないと考えており、トイレ分離法案のようなものを執拗に批判してきたからです。皆さんはどう考えますか？